Marlon Mack and the Colts have agreed to seek a trade. Marlon Mack, who has 5 carries this year, John. He's so far down on the Colts depth chart that they've agreed they'll try to find another place for him. Didn't play football last year. I don't know that he's played a full season. He's coming off an Achilles. And because he hasn't really played this year, I don't know if he's healthy. So it wouldn't take much. I mean, I don't think it would take much. But what do you think of a Marlon Mack to the 49ers for bodies in the running back room trade? We're glad you're watching this video. Like it and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Also, subscribe to our podcast below in the description.
We're sponsored by Tito's Handmade Vodka.
Yes, we are. #1 vodka in America.
Savor responsibly.
Well, I think I'm not into trading for running backs once you have 7 million running backs. They just drafted 2 running backs. I know one of them's injured, but it's like you cannot draft a running back in the 3rd and the 6th and then by the end of September have to trade for a running back.
What if you trade a 6th?
So you use 2 6th-round picks and a 3rd-round pick in 5 months on running backs?
I mean, John, we're in the fight now, and I got no running backs, right?
Well, it's like, fuck. Kyle, you got to play the guys on your practice squad. To me, this one's on Kyle. Like, you have to be willing. I love Kyle Juszczyk. He's a fullback. Put the running back behind him and run your normal plays. Do not ask him to be a running back because he's the only guy you trust. I don't blame you for trusting Kyle, but you need to trust, and I don't even mean, even if you don't trust him, you have to be willing to play these 4 guys. Kerryon Johnson, the dude they claimed from the Bengals, Sermon Moore. You just got to fucking play them and keep rotating them. Let a guy get hot. Those are your running backs. That's your group. You know, it sucks. It's not ideal, but it's the cards you're dealt. You're not trading for Marlon Mack coming off an Achilles. He's not worth a 6th-round pick. Now, part of the reason he's not playing, like one of their best players is Jonathan Taylor, who is just their bell cow running back.
Yeah.
And who knows? Maybe he's just not quite as fast. Marlon Mack, who was pretty good a couple years ago, was kind of this hybrid, caught the ball really well, was fast. I remember taking him in daily fantasy. I would imagine the Achilles, he's not like a slow physical back. He's really a guy in space. He's a quicker player. I wonder if that derailed his ability.
That would be a pretty expected thing to have happen.
Yeah.
Like, to me, if he hadn't had an Achilles, I'd be open to trading for him. But I don't have, like, this is the reality of the situation. I don't want to trade a 6th-round pick for Marlon Mack either, but this is the position you're in. You got to win games now, and you need running backs.
They have running backs, guy.
Well, not ones they trust, clearly. However, I cannot trade for a guy that I think, A, could be damaged goods, or B, could get hurt again.
Yeah, and Marlon Mack, I would imagine he's in a contract year, so you're trading for a guy that you're not going to re-sign.
This is a contract year because he was a rookie in 17. Or they signed him in 17.
Yeah, he's a UFA this year. It's just, you can't be doing business like that. The Niners have to be willing. To me, there's a difference in not trusting him. If the guy can't play, then yeah, it's like all the guys that you have on your team can't play, then that's a personnel problem, and that's a problem. But we don't even know if they can't play. I didn't see Kerryon Johnson, who has been able to play in the past. I used to really like him when he was on the Lions. And this dude that they claimed from the Bengals. Now, the thing is with running backs, if you said like, hey, bro, you can't expect much of a corner you claimed or a right tackle you claimed, I'd be like, yeah, that's true. Running backs, they get claimed and they play that week all the time. Let them play. Let them see. I understand the running game is Kyle's baby, but like, bro, you got to be willing to at least try some of these guys, or you can't bitch and moan while you're not running the ball.
Cody says the only running back I'd accept is Matt Breida.
Can't trade for him back.
He's got 4 carries this year.
Breida?
2 games. Is he hurt?
Well, from what I've read, the Dolphins, they've been down, so they've been throwing the ball. Their run game is pretty terrible because their offensive line can't block.
He's on the Bills.
Breida?
Yeah.
Oh, he's not on the Dolphins anymore?
That's what Football Reference tells me. Maybe I'll play in fantasy this week.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Just running backs, like unless you have a top guy, I wouldn't even trade for Saquon Barkley because there's no way they're giving him to you for like a 5th-round pick.
Which is what you'd want to trade, right?
Yeah, and like, is he really that good? He was really good, but the guy I watch now, for the hype, is nowhere near what he once was. Sometimes injuries, that is the one position, right, where guys have an injury and they're never the same. Because there is a lot of like...
Except Mark Ingram.
I think a lot of it goes into confidence. I got to make these cuts. I got to run over guys. It's really different. At least as a wide receiver, you're just kind of running it out.
Well,
as a running back, it can get in your head really fast.
The other, because if you're a receiver, you're the third receiver on the field. The quarterback still might throw you the ball. You're a running back. You're over here now. It's like, coach, I was just getting hot. How many carries do you need to get hot as a running back? You're like, I don't know, 8 carries. I think the best thing that could come out of this, as painful as it looked last week, is you just might have to force the issue with 28. Specifically with him.
Well, hand him the ball then.
Yeah, well, they did last week. It didn't look good. That's what I'm saying. It's like, but they might have to. And so he might have the kind of freedom that you're talking about running backs don't usually get, because normally Kyle's got 5 guys. You don't get enough after 3 snaps, whatever, we're going to somebody else. And you don't see the next thing you know, although you can play well, Jeff Wilson Jr. Score 3 touchdowns and not see the field for another 6 weeks.
Yeah, to me, it's a pretty simple coaching point, Trey. This is not the club. We don't dance. We get fucking downhill. Think Mount Everest, but you've already summited. You're coming back down. Go downhill. No dancing. This ain't the club. We do not dance in this scheme. We don't need you to juke anybody unless you're past the line of scrimmage. We do not shimmy and shake here. That is not what we do. And if you do that, the head coach, he loses his mind, and then he just throws Juszczyk back there, and he'll do that. But it's like the moment I see him, if he's dancing early in that game, I'll just know, like, oh, this ain't going to work.
Get in our DraftKings game. The link is below. Sign up at DraftKings with the code HAM.
Also, if you want to gamble, use mybookie.ag, promo code HAM1. That's a problem, but that's a personnel thing.
It sounds like a great early Hard Knocks running back room coach's rant. This is not the club.
Hey, no dancing. But it is truly the run scheme where dancing is not allowed. Like, because it's all, they're creases. And the creases as you go, so you run right laterally, and the moment you see a crease, it's 100% down. Like when you run the power scheme, when you pull the guards, Le'Veon Bell, Frank Gore, you get to kind of shimmy and shake and kind of pick in spots and then make a guy miss. That is not what running backs are asking this scheme. It's actually why so many running backs that look so terrible in the just normal offenses that I guess a lot of teams run the zone scheme now, but like historically the Steelers and the Harbaugh brothers, like that type power run scheme, you get a guy that can't juke, they look terrible. But the zone running scheme, you can be really stiff and just play downhill and just dominate. And I bet Trey Sermon's like, bro, I got moves. I was like, gotta go, man. You gotta go. And part of going is like, well, sometimes you only get 2 yards, but sometimes if it's a weak arm tackle, maybe you break it and you get 10. That is, going back, we didn't laugh at it, but I do think this guy was undervalued on his importance, and I do think the Mostert injury was fucking extreme. And they'd go, well, we had 2 running backs that we drafted ready to roll. Well, then the better version, who happened to be the 6th-round pick's already hurt. Yeah, he looked awesome, and Trey Sermon is feeling his way out, and he's supposed to be, quote-unquote, he's not technically a blue chipper, but he was like the highly touted dude from college.
Time is now. They need him now.
Yeah. You're right. I think the move is you hammer 28. Because once upon a time, and I'm not saying that, the Niners would do cartwheels for this guy to become a Kamara. He doesn't have the same skill set, but you know what I mean. Kamara's, Kareem Hunt. You can find 3rd-round running backs, and then all of a sudden you look up at the end of the year, and they're one of the best players on a good team. So it's like, I think the Niners probably thought, like, Trey Sermon's going to be a really good player for us. And then all of a sudden it's like, well, he doesn't even fit the scheme. It'd be a problem.
Well, yeah, part of it was like, does he fit better with Trey Lance at quarterback?
Well, maybe, but that's not who he's playing with right now.
Well, I understand, but can you put Trey on the field early with him to try?
You're saying he's used to playing with running quarterbacks?
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, I would imagine a lot of the stuff they have when they watch Trey Sermon, some of that is like, dude, if he's there next to Trey Lance, like, we could do some cool stuff, right? With both of them getting outside. So maybe you run some of that stuff early, not for Trey Lance, but to get Trey Sermon going.
Think who he lined up next to in college: Kyler Murray, Justin Fields.
Like in 2nd grade,
Jalen Hurts.
When it was photo day, and I didn't want to take the photo, they had my best friend Ben sit next to me, and if you look at my class photo, you can see Ben's shoulder in my class photo.
Why, you refused to sit down?
I just didn't. I was like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to take I don't want to take a class photo.
Do you think you've
Ben
always
did it.
been a little tough to deal with?
Yeah.
Yeah. Counter culture?
You tell me to zig, I zag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't blame you.
And I fight it. It's why I say things like, Jay Cutler, I think he's got something. It's, you just got to recognize, why do I think the way I think? And when am I doing something just to be defiant?
Yeah.
And that was one. And I think they had to call my grandpa to come to the school too. Maybe it might have been his idea to get Ben to sit next to me, actually, now that I think about it.
One time I remember I wasn't faking. I thought I was sick. And my dad told me to stay at school. He said, go back to your class. He showed up. They called him. Pioneer Elementary, probably 3rd or 4th grade. Wouldn't take me home. He said, I'm not doing it.